In this Rewind Thoughts, once again, I'm going to give my thoughts on a controversy when Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite came out. And at a time, community manager of Capcom, Peter Combofiend Rosas, and the producer had an interview with Gamespot about the game and basically asked about the X-Men. And if you follow the story, Combofiend gave a meme function response. Of course, you can understand why, because they were under Disney to some extent. You don't want to piss them. And because of that, there was a lot of meme about it. So I'm going to give my thoughts on that one. And after that, as an added bonus, I am going to add more about this story, what happened to the aftermath, the rumors about it.
Hello guys, NautoAis here. And this is going to be a response to Vespa Arcade and also James Chen and David Ram, the host of the Ultra Chan TV. Okay, so basically what I'm talking about here is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, the PR nightmare situation. And if you don't know what it is that Combofiend and some guy named Ian, I think he's the director for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, basically were asked some tough questions. So before I start, again, a lot of this disclaimer. One, I always have to say that, just to be clear. One, I'm not an FGC. I do like fighting game, not really interested with the community. Second, never had a problem with Combofiend Peter Rosas. I think, in my opinion, as what he's doing for Capcom, as a, let's just say, FGC community manager, I think he's doing a great job. You have to also understand that he is also working in a corporate company, so you might be surprised that he has to say things to please the upper management. So you gotta have to put that in note there. So what am I talking? Why am I talking like this? And that is that the GameStop basically asking about X-Men characters. So if you kind of get it by now, Disney bought Marvel, and the thing that Marvel's trying to push, if you notice, I've been talking about it, even Megas X1 been talking about it, is that Marvel themselves, even though they own X-Men and the Fantastic Four, they're trying to put them in the blanket, or they're putting them in the vault, basically not to recognize them. And the most common reason is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So the Marvel movie, you see, is popular, Ronnie Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Benedict Cumberbatch, that guy Chris Hemsworth, so you get the idea. That's what they call the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's just everything on Marvel. Yeah, they also get Spider-Man, but that's a partnership with Sony Entertainment Pictures. Not to be confused with Sony Computer Entertainment, but different story. So they're trying to get rid of the X-Men and the Fantastic Four to some extent because they're owned by Fox. What's that have to do with the comic and with Marvel in general? Well, a lot of this thing is because the most thing that makes them money is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, sadly. A lot of the general consumer, the general audience, let's just say that, are not really to Marvel, and what they know about Marvel is just Marvel Cinematic Universe. So with that said, they did ask anything about X-Men, what's going on, where we're going to be able to see Magneto, Wolverine, etc., etc. And then Combofiend basically said, oh, well, we don't really see them as character value. It's more like they're just function, and that certain character will probably going to remind you to play the other character, etc., etc., etc. So, my personal opinion about it, I'm like saying, oh boy, man. I'm sorry to say, 90% of the Combofiend, but you sounded like a douche for saying that. No offense, I don't have a problem with the guy. I understand what he's talking about, and I'll explain that later. So, to some extent, I kind of see where it's coming from. If you're a competitor player in the FGC, they're probably going to have that mentality that you choose character that fits your style, your tactic. It doesn't matter who your character is. You don't play it, oh, it's my favorite character. You play it because it plays fun, it works your style, and you win money, fight money. Makes sense. However, if you're also gonna target this to the casual audience who are a fan of either Capcom or Marvel, saying that they're just function and they don't have any character value, you kind of give them a middle finger. So somebody who loves Wolverine, somebody who likes the Sentinel, Magneto, heck, Mr. Fantastic, they might say, well, I'm not gonna buy Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. This is worst. Poopy duck. there's no Wolverine. I always remember the Marvel fighting game, there's always Wolverine, and no Wolverine here? Oh, forget it, you know. And then they might say, Combofiend might say, well, we got the Black Panther, it's the same thing. But the guy wanted Wolverine, he doesn't want Black Panther. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to explain it also. Like I said, I kind of get the functionality part there. But, like, I agree what James and David basically said. I understand what Combofiend's coming from, why he had to say it. It was just poorly done. It's a PR nightmare. So, of course, the result was the casual fan, and some of them, or this FGC fan also, who loves Marvel, basically said sort of a middle finger, because you're saying so, oh, well, you know, who cares about the Wolverine fans or the Magneto fans? So, I kind of get that. I mean, adding also insult to injuries that the director said, well, you know what, in 2017 modern age, you know, not a lot of Marvel fan or casual Marvel fan, they might not even remember the X-Men. Oh, shoot, dude. Wow. Just saying that, that's like a double finger to the, again, the X-Men fan themselves. Do you think they're going to buy the game now because you said that? Oh, they're not even going to remember? I mean, he wasn't insulting them, but you're also basically saying, X-Men fan? Whatever, you're not going to remember this. Go to the corner or something. That's basically what the meaning behind it. Yeah, not a good idea, but again, yeah. So, now you might say, my personal opinion is kind of messed up, but I'm also open to understand where they're coming from. The reason why they have to do it, they probably had talks with Capcom. Capcom had a talk with Marvel. It's a business. Maybe Combofiend believe in the product itself, but there's also some legal issues. And like I said before about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Marvel to some extent can't use X-Men and Fantastic Four characters to the extent. The movies cannot do because Fox, they own those X-Men and Fantastic Four. Comic-wise, maybe, but you're trying to make money, and people might get confused. Like, how come the X-Men's only in the comic, but we don't see them in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Well, because again, you couldn't do it. If you want to know about the story of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you might just want to Google that one. It's a long history. They're being talked, even Vesper Arcade basically talked about it. So, like I said, Combofiend and Ryan probably had a talk with the Capcom upper management, the higher up, and they said, hey guys, you need a strategy. So, when they asked about X-Men characters, Fantastic Four, something like that, trying to say something that we won't look like an idiot, but at the same time to trying to justify our decision. Again, it's called PR talk. There's a reason why public relationship exists. Their job is to be professional, but at the same time don't look like an idiot. It is what it is. There are things you can say, there are things you can't say. That's what PR is for. If you say, well, Capcom maybe Marvel should tell the truth. Okay, so maybe they said Combofiend can say, yeah, we know, we heard you want an X-Men character, but unfortunately that Marvel has some sort of restriction business with Disney, and we can only use Marvel characters, Avengers, I mean. Then what's the reaction? Someone's not going to be happy. The bottom line in the business, one-on-one, you can't please everyone. That's a common thing. You cannot please everyone. And basically, Harada basically said it, and I can agree in his Twitter. It's the most common thing that Harada basically said. To some extent, whatever you say to the public, whether you're being truthful, trying to basically just trying to look good for the company, trying to protect the company, whatever you say, there will always be a backlash no matter what. There's going to be ramification. What you say, there's going to be an effect no matter what. So, yeah, they said about functionality. Some of the fans were pissed. Okay, well, if Combofiend told the truth, oh yeah, we couldn't do it because we're promoting the Avenger Infinity War. We can only use Marvel Cinematic Universe. We couldn't do anything about it. What's going to happen? What's the reaction? Maybe it's truthful. Maybe they don't like the answer, but you understand? They're going to probably say, well, kind of stupid. Why don't you kiss and make up with Fox? Do something about it. This is horse poopy doo-doo chicken. You get an idea what I'm saying? Yeah, so whatever to say. So I guess that Capcom, to some extent, trying to please Marvel because they're working with Marvel. I think to some extent they're just trying to find a way to please them and not look like, well, quote unquote, excuse the language, an ass. So was it the right thing to say what Combofiend said, and even my thing of people not going to remember X-Men? Probably not, but I think to some extent they weren't really ready for it. Like, they're trying to find a way, like, how do we say this right without making the company look like an ass, because language. Because again, no matter what your reason is, you're gonna look like an ass. It is what it is. It sucks. You're gonna look like a freaking ass. You know, even Riley said it. You say something your reason is, look what happened. Look what happened with the Roger Jr. controversy. I was disappointed about it. Yeah, he basically he gave some sort of reason. People didn't like it. There you go. And again, yeah, I mean, for the Combofiend, I have no problem with it. The guys, I think what he does, as for Capcom, he does a good job. That's why, to some extent, I do feel for Combofiend and to some extent Ryan, like, they weren't prepared. They were like, okay, we're prepared for this, but not so much prepared. They can't throw Marvel under the bus and go, well, it's Marvel's fault, because then Marvel's not going to be happy. They're going to be pissed off. So it is something. This is something like a business. I mean, guys, you know, business 101, you can't please everyone. Business 101 means business has to survive, so they have reason in a perspective of business. It sucks that it doesn't make the fans happy. I get it. Remember, Nintendo's the same thing. But it's something, they felt like a strategic business, they're going to do it. So probably like I said, Combofiend probably wasn't prepared to say, okay, alright, okay, how do we say X-Men without pissing Marvel off? Oh no, let's just say their function. I mean, would it be a better way? For me personally, I really can't, because I'm not into a Marvel fan, and I love the situation with Marvel. I really don't know. So for me, I really don't know what to say. Maybe they said, well, as of right now, we're focusing on the story of, let's just say, the Avengers. Maybe, and then they can make it open-ended. That's always another trick. Make it open-ended. Maybe there'll be an expansion to this, again, quote-unquote DLC. Again, you didn't say that you will do it, but you're not going to say you're not going to do it, but leave it open-ended. Say, well, maybe in the future we can consider putting in X-Men, even so you're probably not going to do it because, you know, X-Men owns by Fox. But some leave open-ended. Sometimes the key thing you have to say is try to leave situation open-ended. That you didn't say that you did it, but you didn't say that you won't do it. You know, like, leave it open-ended. The problem when you say it's functionality, that's not really so much open-ended. That's actually a closed case. But you basically just told them, well, you know, don't think about the characters as characters. They're just those are just functions. So I mean, we're gonna have somebody who's basically Wolverine, which is kind of true. So with that, I'm gonna transition about the part about function. I know where it's coming from with the function because it's also happened in Marvel vs. Capcom, so believe it or not. In the past, I was part of this, you know, so I'm gonna go a little bit political. Do apologize. And one of the complaints is the lack of quote-unquote black characters. Yeah, there is black characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Storm, that's all I can think of. Part 2, you got Storm and War Machine. But with that said, there wasn't, like I said, they talked about it before in a panel with Ultimate vs. Capcom 3 in San Diego Comic Con. They have Nitsuma. How come the lack of black actors and Nitsuma didn't want to talk about it? Okay, so same deal. Circular actually said something interesting. You gotta give it prop, leave it open-ended. But there was actually a much easier thing that the reason some of the characters had like the lack of black actors, and basically this comes with the functionality. One of the guys who works for Marvel characters basically said, well, the problem is that we put some of the black characters, Marvel black heroes, excuse me, there's gonna be redundant with the characters where they already put it in. I might not like the answer, but I gotta get it. Say, well, why not put Blade? Well, you have Deadpool, they're both swordsmen, so we only need one. We got already Deadpool. Why put in Blade. I don't know why I went blank there from home. Apologies, Blade. Oh, I want Luke Cage in the game. Well, it's a big guy with a tan skin. Well, you got the Hulk. Or maybe he could be the next Colossus, but again, you got the Hulk. So why put in Luke Cage? Oh, you got War Machine. You got Iron Man. Yeah, you got Iron Man there. So again, they're mostly the same. I mean, the reason Marvel vs. Capcom 3 they put in War Machine rather than Iron Man is that they wanted a quote-unquote new character, make it easy, have Iron Man's architect, modify him a bit. There you go. I mean, he even made it a bit different in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is basically he's armored War Machine, but it's not armored, but he shoots missile. Yeah. So, and the big one here is why not put in Black Panther, which Black Panther is going to be Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite as a DLC, so there you go. But the point is, why not Black Panther? Oh, because you already got Wolverine. You cannot see the functionality. That's what Combofiend was coming from. You know, saying that's why I can't understand where it's coming from. But at the same time, as a casual gamer or as a general audience, you really can't say that because you're giving the fans who basically play the game for the characters, not for the functionality or the mechanics. You're giving them a middle finger, and that's not a good thing. That's horrible. That's so horrible. That's mean. So, but I do get it. So, yeah. That's my thoughts about when they say the functionality. Like I said, I don't agree with both Combofiend and Ryan basically said. But as they're working for a company and business, I understand where they're coming from. They probably had to say something. And at the time, on that spot, they probably would say, well, that makes more sense. This is what we're going to go with. You know, it's a business. Remember, companies are business. They're there to make money. They're not there for charity. I don't know what to say about that. It sucks, but it is what it is. So that's my thoughts about it. With that, thanks for listening.
So you heard my thoughts in 2017 about when Combofiend said function in the game. So for people who don't know what it is, here's the gist of it. So of course, I think it was announced in 2016 about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So the latest one. The Marvel versus fans are like, oh my god, the latest one. Hopefully that kind of keep the franchise alive. And then they noticed, first of all, the character design, it was bad. Spoiler, the budgets have that. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And then they noted there is no X-Men character. So if you're a Marvel fan, to some extent, unless you like the Avengers, you know that X-Men and the Fantastic Four are more popular than the Avengers. That whether you like it or not, this is a facts history that without the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, there wouldn't be Marvel. It is what it is there. And of course, there have been a lot of history about the bankruptcy and stuff. And if you want to know, well, Google it. But to some extent that Disney ended up buying most of the right for Marvel, except for one thing, and those are the movie rights. When it comes to the comic, cartoon, toys, whatever, they have the right. But when it comes to the movie, which for the casual, that's how people get to know about the franchise is throughout the movie. They don't. Disney only owns the Marvel Avengers. Fox owns Fantastic Four, X-Men, and then Sony owns Spider-Man when it comes to the movie. And people might say, well, what about Spider-Man and Disney? You don't have to worry about it to some extent. The reason what they were able to do is Spider-Man in the MCU is that, for people who don't know to some extent, Sony as a whole, not just PlayStation, not just studio, but Sony as a whole have a sort of pseudo-healthy relationship with Disney. So you don't have to worry about that one. They do have a lot of collaboration, believe it or not. I mean, when it comes with the Blu-ray versus HD DVD in 2006, believe it or not, Disney were the first company that supported Blu-ray over HD DVD. Just saying that, but that's like a long time ago. When it comes to Fox versus Disney at the time, yeah, there was a problem. Again, if you want to know about it, a lot of people already talk about it, including Matt from Yoda Video Game, Maximilian Dude, Fighting Game Aficionado, you get it, and other people. So with that said, we're going back again to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite when Combofiend basically said functions. Okay, so for people who don't know who Combofiend is, Peter Rosas, let's just say that he's the latest from what I understand at a time, the community manager for Capcom when Ted Killian left. Because if you don't know the guy, he left. He's also a fighting game fan, but he left Future Endeavor. Peter Combofiend Rosa took over for a while. Of course, by now, of course, he already left. I also gave my thoughts about that. So the question is more in depth of why would they say something like that? And like I said in the main video, is they were under probably Disney. Disney probably told Capcom, hey, you better not say anything bad about the situation with the X-Men. You can't say, well, blame Disney for not putting the X-Men in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So they had to say something to positive spin. It's a business. When you're trying to promote something, even you know, and this is a secret, that if you know that it's not really a good idea, you trying to fool the general audience. Not somebody who's into Marvel, nobody who's a hardcore fan, the general audience who are out-tuned to the Marvel storyline. They only know about MCU. Because again, they can't use... to some extent, they can use X-Men on the game. But again, why if they want to promote their MCU movies? And again, at a time, they don't have the Fox rights yet. They didn't merge. That's why now there's even X-Men references. And they're even doing, not so good Fantastic Four starring Pedro Pascal. But, it is what it is. It's a business. But that's another story there. So at a time. So they have to say something that won't piss Disney off. And Disney is a big company. So you say something stupid, Disney might say, oh, you know what, Capcom, screw you. Which, spoiler in the end, because the game poorly sold. But credit to Matt that said that, yeah, it sold a lot of units. But when it comes to the sales, the ROI, it wasn't there. Yeah, a lot of people were buying it for $20, including myself. I played the game. It sucks. As I said in some other video, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is a shit pile of shit game. I'd rather play Street Fighter Cross Tekken than this shit pile of shit game, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, because it just sucked. After playing Marvel vs. Capcom 3, my opinion is Infinite was backwards. 2-on-2, you go to 4-lane button layout that's like more complex than low, medium, high, special layout, which that's my preference because that was based on Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, but again, to achieve their own. And again, so they have no choice. They have to do that. You say, well, is that really true that really happened? And I read this in the internet of the aftermath that, again, it could be wrong. Remember, the internet, don't take it seriously. Sometimes rumor is just rumor. Supposed to be, I read this, and that somebody who's supposed to be close to Combofiend said, yeah, that was the case, that they were told if the X-Men topic comes in this game, figure out what to say that's not going to piss Disney off. And the only thing that Combofiend kind of have the solution, okay, maybe the competitive scene, you're going to do function. Which is, again, yes, the competitive scene, it makes sense. But somebody who's a Marvel fan, who's casual to the game, and they love the X-Men, you're going to say function? They're going to tell you, no, screw you. That's disgusting, which is, it sounds like a disrespect to your Marvel fan, especially you, somebody who loves the X-Men or the Fantastic Four, and you're going to say something like that? Oh boy, not a good idea. And again, there was a rumor that was the case. Again, obvious. And what he wanted to do. If you say something, they might ruin his reputation. Believe it or not, sometimes that happens. Like, if you say something that pisses your other company, like you say Disney, Capcom might have to do something, and you don't want that. Yeah, it sucks, but again, that was business 101. So, yeah, this was basically one of the signs that Marvel vs. Capcom franchise was going to be dead. After Infinite, it was dead. It wasn't on EVO 2018. The previous guy that runs EVO, Guys Gross, everybody knows that, admitted it that, yeah, apparently Disney did not want the game to be there because, from what I understand, again, it could be rumor that Disney themselves, after Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, they did not want to do anything with Capcom. They said, forget this, screw this, and they want to disacknowledge the franchise, and that's what it is. That's why, to some extent, nobody can do big events for Marvel vs. Capcom, whether Part 2 or Part 3, legitly, because Disney won't allow it. Unlegitly, yeah, that's a different there. So, there you go. Of course, right now, if you watch a Nintendo Direct 2024, there will be a Marvel vs. Capcom Final Collection. I pre-order mine on the PS4 because I love my trophies. Plus, I like the control setup for the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 controller. Backwards compatible, but I might get the Switch version in the long run. And let's see if this game's going to be in a sale. But it's probably going to be tricky because since this game is so high demand, that probably going to be sold out, the physical release. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see there. So there you go, the follow-up in-depth story of the function that Combofiend said. Again, you can't blame the guy for doing his job. He was told, and he had to figure it out. And I mean, spoiler to some extent, they're not going to tell you what to say. They're going to tell you to some extent that figure something out that don't piss your client or whatever, like Disney. And he did whatever he could. It's FGC, so he's just saying, well, maybe my FGC knowledge might do it. And again, like I said before, what happened to him is he left Capcom. The last time I heard, he was working at Marvel. He was actually part of the PlayStation Insomniac Spider-Man, but different story there. Anyway, that's it, the follow-up on it. So with that, I'll see you guys later.